Some more Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Second-round pick. This is Joe Mixon. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The numbers for Mixon last week, 21 carries, 65 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for the Bengals. 55 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's a run with Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
You know what I did in pregame? I made sure I touched him as he went by. I want a little bit of what he's got.
The golden arm from last week.
Oh, how much fun was that to watch that game tape, all right? The number of touchdowns, what was that, 5 last week?
Yeah.
But 0 interceptions. So you think he's due to throw a pick? But I'm betting that he continues the streak in this game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's going to take a shot. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Crabtree the target on that one.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And Dalton to throw. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the...
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go.
From the gun, Jackson. And he fires one incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And an alley to run. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking there for Bruce Ellington. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Fighting him off. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And that that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Mixon, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. 4-6 defense, they were daring him to run the football. They ran it. A little football 101. Take us through what the 4-6 defense is, Charles.
So what you're trying to do with your big defensive front is cover the interior offensive lineman, the center, and the 2 guards, and make it difficult if you even want to think about running the ball inside. If you can control them, that allows the linebackers and the safeties to run free and get to the ball carriers. And that play worked really well. No gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the 1st quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the 2nd one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. It's hauled in by Ellington. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Collins. And now running right through it. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. The numbers for Collins last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
And now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
But we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10, and in this case, they did it really successfully.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 2nd down, Collins. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Caught left side to Crabtree. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They run with Collins. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Operating from the gun, Jackson. And he whips that one incomplete there. Will tie the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And Perriman's got it for a Raven touchdown. Brashad Perriman with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens are in for 6. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Dalton. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Gun! 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 Gun!
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Ellington has it, middle of the field. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. The veteran safety, George Iloka, there to break that one up. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Here we go now.
Jackson to throw on third down. This throw caught at about the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hayden Hurst with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 31 yards there and a first down.
But when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level. That offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Now making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Dalton here from the gun. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Gone! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing again. Jackson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Geno Atkins. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jarius Wright that time. And it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. this one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Ellington now to return it. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. This Ravens offense heads back out there led by Lamar Jackson. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. A good pickup there of 22.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see. Open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Lucky 56.
Now Jackson going to throw again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Will tie as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Green 18. You got tight right there.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Tight end right, tight end right.
And again, it's Collins. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Bengals have recovered it.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball. And we just saw there, but that's typical to do.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him. On the year. Here's Sam Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken right around the 44. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Once again, they run with Mixon. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
And right with it here over the middle. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Single. Who's on 85? Come on, baby. Lead.
Dalton throwing on second down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession.
I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Gun!
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
On the run, Darkwa. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Jackson. Flushed out right. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Alex Collins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now, here come the Bengals. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And his throw here is incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
3 down.
To throw again, Dalton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And the Bengals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Here's Collins. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now Darkwan. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Time for a break. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is Collins on the handoff. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for
Still
naught on the
down.
penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
This is Collins on the toss. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Darkwa. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
It's second down. Dalton looking. That was hit, and Dalton lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. It's do or die for Dalton. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
First down.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for the Ravens, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the